So today we're training at a very cool gym. It's called Element, and we are in Munich right now. Maddie has a mock comp that's being hosted by a few national teams that's taking place in a city called Augsburg. And so Munich is about a 45-minute train ride from Augsburg, and there aren't really any other gyms, I think, in the area, or any like super cool gyms around Augsburg, and I can't really climb there while the mock comp's happening. So I decided to take the little 45-minute commute and train at Element. Me and Maddie spent quite a bit of time here at the beginning of the year, about like a month, I think, training pretty much at this gym exclusively while we were searching for an apartment. We were like, this was going to be we were trying to have this be our home gym and find a place near here, but apartment searching in Munich was actually a lot more difficult than we thought. And we didn't have all the time in the world because we were just staying in Airbnb. We wanted to find a place. So we kind of extended our search and ended up finding a place in Frankfurt. And then like Studio Block was kind of our second choice actually. Element was kind of the first choice. And you'll be able to tell by the end of this video, like the gym is beautiful. They have like the most amazing hold selections. It's pretty new as well. I think it's about 1.5 years old. And the setting's really great. They have a lot of modern comp style bouldering. It's really quite a fantastic gym. And so today's our last couple days of this 2-week training cycle where we're training pretty much exclusively on the spray wall. But since we're here at Element today, today is supposed to be usually day one of this training cycle is our spray wall session of 1.5 hours. But like I said, since we're at Element, I'm just deciding to kind of take advantage of being here since we're not here all the time and just basically swap out the 1.5 hours of spray wall session with 1.5 hours of bouldering. And this is, something I'll do as much as I can is like whenever you have whatever program you're following, you always want to try and get the most value from your training as you can. And I'm going to be like, I'm sure I could have a spray wall session here. They have a really nice spray wall actually. And I could make up some boulders and it would be good, but like, there would only be one session here on the spray wall. These boulders wouldn't necessarily be able to become projects if I don't send them. So I wouldn't be able to kind of use them to track my progress, which is kind of what a spray wall cycle is about as well. And then I would be missing out on a lot of cool boulders that are set up in the gym because we would be leaving in a couple days. So, every now and then, if you have an opportunity to kind of add extra value to your training or like take advantage of an opportunity that you would miss out on normally, then I'm always for it. So that's why we're just bouldering today instead of training on spray wall. So yeah, you can see we're trying this crazy boulder here in the cave. It's a 7 tag. The gym's grading here is the same as Studio Block, 1 to 7, with 7 being the hardest. And I kind of, scoped out the boulders around the gym before I started my session and kind of picked some of the coolest, most comp style boulders that I could find and kind of planned out a session with those boulders. I didn't necessarily get on the absolute hardest boulders today. There were probably like 2 or 3 boulders that looked super hard, but they weren't necessarily like the most comp style. Like maybe they'd just kind of be like a line of bad holds or something. And while we're here, I want to just try and take advantage of the unique styles that this gym has to offer. And I do this a lot in the past. It's like I'm not going to go here and have a boulder session and climb on a bunch of crimpy boulders when I can do that on a spray wall at our home gyms. So yeah, we're trying the most comp style and most unique looking boulders we can find. And so here we're trying this big paddle boulder in the steep. You can see I've tried it a few times already. This move is crazy. It's kind of deceptive here in the video, but since this is a cave and you have to jump backwards, this dyno is actually a lot bigger than it looks in the video. You can see the first few tries, I'm trying to paddle. I'm like flying to this next hold like super fast. It's a pretty good hold. It's like a jug. I can swing off at one hand, but the pocket, it's like pretty close to the wall, so it's pretty blocked actually, and you have to be very accurate when you hit it. And so you can see in the last couple of tries what I discovered in order to stick this move is, so I hit this paddle hold and I actually pinch it. And maybe if the dyno was a little bit less big, I would actually just be able to hold the swing off this hold. It's not too bad, but it's just, there's just enough momentum that I have to kind of pinch the hold to slow down my swing so that I can be a bit more accurate and hit this jug. And you can see that I rehearsed the ending a few times while I was like working the boulder, and I had it kind of down packed to send the boulder. And that's actually a tactic I'll do as well. Well, not necessarily a tactic, but something I do a lot in training is you can see that I was kind of sprinkling in some attempts where I rehearsed the ending of that boulder in between my attempts at the first move. And I do that for a few reasons. Like I mentioned, I do it just to keep the training engaging, so that I find that I don't just kind of start giving the same attempt over and over on the first move and stop thinking about it. I try to spice up my attempts and try the ending a bit as well to keep my mind engaged. But I also just do that to keep kind of my fingers warm if I'm trying this paddle over and over again on the big jugs, and then after like 20 minutes of trying that, if I go and I try the ending where there are some like small holds, my fingers might not be ready for it if I've kind of taken too long of a break from that. So I like to do that often. And then here you see we just finished another 7. That was a flash of a pretty cool technical boulder on the arete. And yeah, you'll notice as well here I'm sporting some new shoes. These are some Scarpa. They're the Instinct slip-ons, and this is kind of always like a mini dream of mine. I've always wanted to try like a pair of slip-on shoes, but I've always been skeptical about the effectiveness. Like I've always kind of opted for shoes that hug my foot really well, and you'll need kind of a Velcro strap or some sort of lacing system for that. And so I've always kind of been like, oh, there's no way a slip-on shoe is going to hug your foot strong enough to be able to toe hook and heel hook. But I never really tried it, and so I wanted to finally kind of take the step and give it a try. Because I'm someone who takes my shoes on and off a lot during a session, and so it'd be super convenient just to slip them on and off. And so I'm finally giving it a try. And actually, I quite like the shoes. I was kind of right though about like the toe hooking and heel hooking capabilities. This is only like my second session with them, but I found on some heel hooks and toe hooks it feels like they could slip out. But for like, let's say you want to just go have like a spray wall session where you're just kind of edging a bunch and you want like a very convenient shoe, I find this shoe is like really great. I'm not sponsored by Scarpa or anything, but this is just my opinion. Like I've always wanted to try the slip-on shoe, and it's a lot of fun, and it's a really comfy shoe. And so we just got done another 7 here. Some cool slippers, just a line of some really cool slippers that are some pretty new holds. Took a couple tries to figure out the jump, but that one was a lot of fun. So here we have another 7, very cool looking 7. A big like jump across to this hold with a pretty fun looking ending with this massive donut hold. And so this is, like I said, this is another 7. When I went and scoped out the boulders, I kind of figured that there were enough 7s that looked like it would be able to last me a session. So we didn't end up trying anything below 7 today. I was working all 7s. There were some good looking 6s, but there were just like enough 7s to go around for the session. So that's kind of what we ended up trying today. I think I fall on this attempt here, but you'll see on my next try when I stick this hold, you can see how there's like this arete. You're kind of jumping to this hold like right on the edge of the wall. So when I stick this hold, I swing and I smash my shin against the arete, and I actually really did a number on my leg. I scraped it up and I bruised it pretty bad, and it was kind of hurting to weight it for a while for the rest of the day. I was kind of wondering if it was like the new shoes causing my shins to be a bit sore, but I think it was actually because I bashed the heck out of my leg on that attempt. And it really hurts to flex my shin actually, so I'm kind of hoping that I didn't injure it. I think it should be okay after a bit of rest. But yeah, so we've been climbing for like about an hour and a half at this point, and like there were so many boulders in this gym, and obviously it's all new for me. I haven't tried any of it. So I was expecting this to be like a pretty long session, probably something around 2 hours, which is what it ended up being. So I decided to split this session up into 2 videos. So this is part 1. You can tune in to tomorrow's video to see the rest of our session.